Hey guys, Claire here. In today's video, we're going to talk about all things Harry and Meghan. The Archewell Foundation believes that uplifting youth voices and listening to their solutions is a key to building a better world, both online and off. Last week, 25 high school fellows flew from across the country to Los Angeles for the Civics Innovation Academy. In that academy, the fellows discussed 5 civically innovative proposals aimed at solving complex urban issues. Some of the issues discussed was housing affordability, third places in urban planning, high-speed rail and infrastructure deliveries, as well as climate-resilient housing. If you're interested, check it out on Archewell's website. Now, this past week, of course, we know that Duchess Meghan celebrated her 44th birthday, and on Instagram, she shared this photo with her loved ones with the caption, "Blowing out candles on a beautiful 24 hours, and thanking my husband, friends, and family for making it so special. To those of you I don't know, but who send love every day, thank you so much. Please know I feel it and appreciate it." Now, of course, some of Meghan's friends shared birthday greetings online, including Meghan's birthday twin, Abigail Spencer, Kelly, Tracy, Kerry Washington, and Jamie, to name a few. Now, 2 of my favorite greetings from organizations and businesses online, and there were so many different posts, but one from Soap Central that reminded us that, of course, one of Meghan's earlier roles was a little cameo on General Hospital. And, of course, the Assistance League of LA showed photos of these lovely little ones making strawberry shortcake to celebrate the Duchess's birthday. How adorable. Now, recently, the Charity Commission in the UK cleared Prince Harry of the claims made by Sophie. And this entire topic, it just irritates me to no end. Because there's just so much about the situation that reeks. And I don't know what her motivation is overall. People have their own theories. Don't know what her end game is. Again, lots of theories out there. The thing that I find insidious about this, 3 things. The fact that this charity was doing phenomenal work for 19 years, almost 20, so 2 decades, right? It had a very successful formula. They had the golden goose in Prince Harry, who would bring the attention, would raise the funds. They get the funds and they use it for the year, however necessary, right? 19 years, almost 20. So she came in and managed to alienate sponsors, lost the trust of the entire board, and upon that happening, the founders and patrons of the charity, the 2 princes, supported the board, right? A board whose members, most of whom were there since the inception of that charity. She decided, with her friends in the British media and Prince William's man, she decided to go on a little media blitz on British media or British broadcasting that she knows is pretty anti-Harry, right? That's an established fact, and we've seen this play out for years now. Decided to go on this little press tour, interviewed by people who we know their line of questioning is going to be very anti-Harry-esque. And she decided to put the blame squarely on Harry, completely ignoring the fact that the entire board of trustees lost confidence in her capabilities, completely ignoring the fact that they lost sponsors that have been with Harry, Prince Ciso, with the entire Sentebale family for years, ignored their concerns for how the finances are being managed, and squarely put the blame on Harry. And then she took it a step further and added Meghan into the mix. Meghan has nothing to do with Sentebale. Never has. She shows up with Harry, as wives do, who have husbands that do charitable work. But beyond that, she has nothing to do with Sentebale. But Sophie knew that if she put the blame squarely on Harry and Meghan, the British press would do the rest. And to me, that's calculated and pretty insidious. And in one breath, all of the problems she blames Prince Harry, right? He's the problem. She experienced misogynoir. She was bullied. His relationship with the press and him leaving the royal family is the reason that they lost the sponsors, even though those same sponsors that Sophie lost for Sentebale are working with Harry and the Invictus Foundation. But okay, girl. Okay. So in one breath, Harry's the problem. But in another breath,
I would actually say my experience is Prince Harry himself. Fantastic, actually. We had a great relationship. But there are some individuals on the board who, quite frankly, did not treat me in the way that they would have treated the prior chair.
Did you guys catch that? Some people within the board treated her a certain way. Not Harry, but when she went on her media blitz, that was not the focus, right? She framed it in a way that she knows that the British press would take and run with it. It's Harry. It's Meghan. It's the fact that they left the royal family. She was annoyed because Harry didn't notify her that his wife would be present, when everyone knows that Meghan usually accompanies Harry for a vast majority of his charity work, right? Then she took it a step further. She had an issue with the fact that Meghan was standing on the right or was standing on the left when it comes to the photo. Talking about Harry and Meghan and picking apart every little thing instead of focusing on why she lost the trust of all of the members of the Board of Trustees, ignoring all the conversations surrounding the information of the allegations of misuse of funds. And for her to say that Harry and Meghan leaving the royal family and all of that is the reason that she lost the sponsor for Sentebale just makes no sense, because that same sponsor continues to work with Prince Harry for the Invictus Foundation, right? So there's so many very serious questions that resulted in the breakdown of those relationships. Then soon after everything blew up, she hired additional members for the Board of Trustees. All right, quite quickly. And now there's only 2 of the many that she hired. Only 2. One of which, not surprising, is Prince William's fella, who got paid, mind you. And it just seems like there is some sort of nefarious intention behind it all. In time, we'll figure it out. But in the meantime, the funding for this charity, the funding that they need to do the work that they have been doing for the past 20 years, dwindling by the day. Someone of the Sussex squad did a calculation showing just how much the squad in of itself contributed to Sentebale. Not to mention, since this has begun, obviously Harry is no longer with the charity. They're not doing the polo match. The other big sponsor gone. Where's the money coming from? It's not sustainable. And in the wake of it all, the children are the ones who are going to suffer. Now, of course, there's no proof of this. But personally, I feel that there are some people who continue to go out of their way to try to tarnish everything Harry and Meghan touches. To punish them, to control them, to make it so that no other organization or people in positions of power would want to work with them. Like I said, it reeks to high heaven.
Sentebale now has 2 members in the Board of Trustees. 2. Apart from Sophie herself. This is after 5 members resigned and Prince Harry and Princess So had to step down. So Sophie Chandoka has managed to strip Sentebale from what it was, what it used to be, to what it is now. This woman has allowed herself to be used as a tool, as it's suspected that one member of trustee in Rollington is William's man, prompting most people to believe it's a hostile takeover. Now Sophie Chandoka has lost all credibility and people are asking, when is she stepping down? She made these allegations of harassment, systematic bullying of her by Prince Harry, and the charity has found out it's not true, it's a lie. When is she stepping down? Most people want to know. One of the things I found most laughable is people that said she won. What did she win? 2 members in the Board of Trustees? What did she win? These ones on Twitter who are clearly bots are saying she won, but they can't even spell her name right. If Sophie Chanduka thinks that royal fans and the people egging her on are going to donate and make Sentebale great, she's in for a big shock and surprise, because royal fans are just trolls. People who are pushing her are just trolls. They don't donate money, unlike Sussex Squad. Sussex Squad were donating to Sentebale when Harry was founder, and they helped raise lots of money for that charity. Obviously, all that's going to stop now because no one's interested in what she's got going. I even heard she's blocking people on Twitter for telling her the truth. I think if she has any shred of self-respect or dignity left, she should just resign and move on and stop trying to defend the indefensible.
Family meeting. The Charity Commission has issued a decision in this finding for Sentebale. They said all sides were to blame. I disagree wholeheartedly. She claims that there was bullying, harassment, misogyny, and misogynoir. The sidebar, this bullying thing, that's a common thing that keeps coming up. Do better. And each time it's been found to be unsubstantiated. Also said that issues arose when she failed to defend Meghan Markle. Really? While the whole time Prince Seso and Prince Harry, they were saying they had issues with governance, that there was a $400,000 spending spree on consultants for fundraising. The Lebet fundraising company, which coincidentally, I think she hired her brother, who was a part of that firm. And she didn't get board approval before spending that amount of money. So what's interesting to me is that the commission said that they're both responsible because they did not keep the squabble in-house, thus publicizing it and tarnishing the brand of the charity. But isn't this that went on every talk show possible, running her mouth, when he just simply resigned? Dr. Shola earlier said, why is she still there? She should leave, she should resign. Just trifling. These men created this charity in honor of their mothers. Bale means forget me not. Forget me not was Princess Diana's favorite flower. You have some nerve doing this. And not only the question about the funds, but you also brought in, what is his name, Ian Rawlinson, that is a friend of Prince William, understanding how contentious that relationship is. But then again, doesn't she have a history of hostile takeovers? She is trifling. She is shameless. And I have no other words for her. If you're going to be big, bad, and bold and be an aggressor like this, don't even try to pull the victim card when this is a situation you created.
It's been reported that apparently over £400,000 was spent on consultants with the idea that these consultants were going to help find ways to bring more money into Sentebale, because the sole person who was raising majority of the money was actually Prince Harry. And again, you can't just rely on one person to bring in all the money. And in theory, that's a good thing. However, this is the amount of money that was spent on consultants, and some of them allegedly are family and friends. But let's have a breakdown of the money. So £185,000 was spent on a consultancy strategy, women-led strategy firm called Lebec, founded by Alex Lebec, £24,000, and he's owed another £66,000 went to Ian Rawlinson. Now, Ian Rawlinson was appointed trustee to Sentebale after the previous trustees resigned. And I query that appointment, because can someone who had previously benefited from a charity be appointed trustee, especially if that charity is still owing them? So yes, I think there is something seriously off there. Another £21,600 went to Global Philanthropic, a fundraising consultancy where this same Rawlinson fellow had served as both the director and the chair. Again, massive conflict of interest, and I'm shocked that nobody is addressing this. Another £41,451 was given to Sarah Essien, a consultant who is reported to have worked very closely with Miss Ma'am at Morgan Stanley. Again, shocking. Conflicts of interest. Why wasn't it addressed? Another £26,110 was paid to Dawn White, who worked at the Black British Business Awards, which was founded by Miss Ma'am in 2014. And this company is a company that she left in debt. If this doesn't get people screaming from the rooftops, I don't know what will. I don't know how all this was ignored by the Charity Commission. And all the Charity Commission did was to blame everybody instead of addressing these key issues evidenced. So it was supported by great evidence, and yet they ignored this. But yeah, I'm going to keep digging because there's something about, because I was a former headhunter, I know how these things work. And I'm thinking, did nobody see this? These are the financials, publicly available. Shocking.
And in other news, Grenada has officially dropped the oath of allegiance to King Charles. The new changes means that state officials will no longer take an oath of allegiance to King Charles, his heirs, and successors. Instead, the oath of allegiance will be to the Caribbean country itself. The changes came into effect on the 1st of August, as Grenada and other Caribbean nations marked Emancipation Day, the anniversary of the day that slavery was abolished in the British Empire. The Prime Minister stated that he hopes that under his leadership, Grenada will transition to a republic, removing the British monarchy as its head of state. The respected activist Professor Gus John urges the Grenadian diaspora to engage in self-repair to dismantle the damaging influence of colonialism.
So in the UK, more and more people are losing interest in royal family and monarchy in total. Also in the Caribbean, they're asking that the monarchy be removed as the head of state. And I'm not surprised. Remember when they went to Canada, King Charles and Camilla, and they did this. Absolute lack of respect for the people they're head of state over. I'm not surprised more and more people are asking for them to be removed as the head of state. I don't even know why they're still head of state in all these colonies. And they also asked him to apologize for slavery and slave trade. And he didn't. He only offered his regret. And that's not enough, obviously, for the people who are asking for it. And they're asking for reparations. Oh, is William going to have a throne to come to when it's his turn at this stage? Who knows?
Something that always stands out to me as a Black person who not only likes Meghan but goes out of her way to defend her is every time I do that, there will always be a deranger in the comment section who very vitriolically, I know it's not a word, but bear with me, who will very emotionally, loudly, like with all the emojis and the caps and the exclamation marks and everything, they will just arrive immediately to let you know that not only is Meghan not Black, not really, she doesn't even identify as Black, and she didn't identify as Black until she met Harry, and she needed to use it as some kind of like immunity card against criticism, which is false, right? It's false. But I've always wondered, why do these people do that? Why do they care so much that Black people identify with Meghan, that we identify the racism they fling against her? Why does it bother them so much? And because I believe that racism is never idle, propaganda is never pointless, like there's always an objective, there's always something they're trying to achieve. It is a question that I tried very hard to answer. And just from Reddit, the Reddit threads and everything that I've compiled so far regarding Meghan, I've arrived at an answer, and it's really quite simple. And I'm shocked that it took me this long. Again, bear with me. But it's because they find Meghan beautiful. She's beautiful, right? Like, Meghan is gorgeous. And these people find her gorgeous because she is objectively so. And so now they need to distance themselves from finding a Black woman beautiful. And what do? They distance her from the blackness. Like, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but it's because these people need to justify to themselves why they find her beautiful. Like, it's really that shallow. I mean, obviously it goes deeper than that, and I'll try to explain a bit more in my book. But that's a very huge part of it. Them realizing that not only do they find her attractive, like I think racism, like, is one of those things I'll never understand. These people are insane.
Something has been bothering me since the Charity Commission delivered its verdict, or whatever it is that they delivered. So something has been bothering me. So I went back and I checked a number of things that they have on their website. And the first thing is that the mission or vision of a charity should be very clear and very focused. So why did they not ask this question? Why did the current chair really change the mission of Sentebale? Was it vision or was it vanity? So as we know, Sentebale was founded in 2006 by Princes Harry and Ciso. And the mission was very simple. The mission was to support orphaned and vulnerable children in Lesotho, especially those impacted by HIV and AIDS. But fast forward to 2003, something changed. And the mission then expanded to health, well-being, youth advocacy, education, livelihoods, and even climate change. Why? In the non-profit world, in the charity sector, this is called mission creep, and that is a massive red flag. Now, why would, and I'm assuming, again, this all happened 2023 on the appointment of the current chair. Why would that happen? Why would you suddenly change the mission of a charity? Now, according to the UK's Charity Governance Code, charities must stay laser focused on delivering their aims effectively and sustainability. So, funnily enough, this was the year that Sentebale's income dropped by £1.1 million in 1 year. So why would you stretch thin instead of doubling down on what your mission has always been? So yeah, I just find it really odd, and it's something I'm going to be picking on, because from the very beginning I was always on about governance. I was always on about the charity operating document. There's got to be an operating document that talks about how things are done, how things are run, who does what, when, and how. So I find it really, really odd that this wasn't in place. And I have my theories about that, and I'm going to address that in the next video. But hold on to the thought that why did the aims and mission of Sentebale, why did it change on the appointment of this particular person?
I saw this article on Vogue about the Duchess and her style, and I'm like 90% sure this is a recycled article, but it was so good I wanted to talk about it again. I believe previously I did a live about her style based on this Vogue article, so I wanted to go over it again because I think if you love fashion as I do, we of course are transitioning from summer to fall, and I think these pieces that they say are Meghan's like staple wardrobe could also be applied into our wardrobe. So let's get into it. The first thing that Meghan wears so well, and I agree with all of Vogue's picks, I probably wouldn't add anything else. The first thing that she wears so perfectly and beautifully is the perfect shirt. She always wears this so well. It looks so chic, so sleek. Here are a few examples. This is one of my all-time favorite looks. The thing that I've noticed when she wears a button down is that they're always a little bit bigger and loose fit, which I think adds a element of chicness to it, that they're not extremely fitted. Here is another perfect example how beautiful it looks on her, and it's such a basic minimalistic shirt, but she makes it look so tailored and chic. Here's another example. I love it. I love a good crisp white shirt, and that's something that you can wear in the summer and of course transition into your fall wardrobe. Another thing she wears is cashmere. I love cashmere. I know cashmere, at least for me, before I kind of discovered how to shop using wisdom, is kind of expensive. But in the past, I used to work in a consignment store, and that is a great way to incorporate cashmere if you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on a cashmere sweater, is by going to consignment stores. Not only are you helping the environment, but also you are able to find fabulous pieces in great conditions for a fraction of the price and look chic. I have been guilty of fast fashion, but the thing with that, of course, is that it doesn't last very long. Cashmere, if you take care of it, will last not quite forever, but you know what I mean. The next thing, jeans. She wears jeans so well. I don't know how tall she is. I'm assuming she's probably like 5'6". She doesn't look extremely tall to me, although I guess that's an average height for a woman. But her jeans always seem to be, she always seems to wear more fitted jeans, and I think it fits her body perfectly. And obviously Vogue agrees with that. Here are a few examples. If I remember correctly, this was her first big outing with Prince Harry, if my memory serves me. I love this outfit. Another thing I noticed is that she always seems to wear like the same color palette. I think the shirt, I can't tell if it's blue or white, but nevertheless, it coordinates so well. Her bag and her shoes match, but again, the jeans tapered, well fitted. I love this outfit. Again, all black, same color palette. The bag and the shoes match. That's something, in my opinion, that will completely elevate your outfit if your shoes and your bag match. I love this outfit. I love how she tucks her sweater in her jeans. Love this look. Also, I love how she rolled her jeans up. Same thing. You can dress it up with the blazer. She looks so fabulous. And white jeans. Again, the top and the bottom match. I noticed that she does that a lot, and that she wears a lot of neutral colors, and it's just so chic. And here is one more look, and this is before Prince Harry. So again, I love how neutral it is. I love that her bag and her shoes are in that same color wheel, along with, of course, her shirt and her fedora. So she's had her signature style for a while, and it works so well for her body type. And like I said, I'm assuming she's around 5'6". I love how the jeans hit right above her ankle. So chic. And last but not least, linens. Linen is such an understated, in my opinion, material. You don't really hear a lot about linen dresses or linen skirts. I love it. It's a good way to kind of keep cool in the summer because it's so lightweight. And here are some examples of her wearing linen. I love this. I believe her skirt is linen, and his outfit, his shirt might be linen. I love it. And the thing about linen also is it wrinkles really easily, which so many people were talking about this outfit. It's kind of notorious at this point, but it appears to be linen, and linen wrinkles. But personally, I think that's sort of the appeal of linen. You can tell it's linen, it looks like linen, but it's so chic and sleek. And last but not least, this outfit. To me, it appears that both the shirt and the pants are linen. I love it. I love the fit. I love that she can wear oversized clothing. In my opinion, it's because she's more petite, but it looks great on her. I think anyone can wear these trends, and I just thought it was such a good article from Vogue. I believe it's still up on their website if you're interested in reading it, about Meghan's style and how minimalistic it is and timeless it is. In my opinion, in 10 years, 15 years from now, we can look back at these outfits and they'll still be relevant, kind of like Carolyn Bessette Kennedy. I love her. She's another one of my style icons. the clothes that she wore 20 years ago, you can still wear today. So anyway, let me know if you're a fashion girly, if you're going to incorporate any of these, they're not really trends, but any of these pieces in your upcoming fall wardrobe. Have a good day.
Y'all, I'm watching Suits for the first time, and why did no one tell me that Meghan Markle is a baddie? I mean, I knew, but like, her in this show, so good. All the fits. I need them all.
Rachel?
I need them all. She's killing it. I love her.
And with that, we've come to the conclusion of this week's video. Wherever you guys are, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell. And if you're interested in a little slice of the internet that focuses on calm, peace, and relaxation, you can check out my second channel, Mindfully You.